Paul. Yeah. I'm just reading this dictionary. Yes. You know, they have what's called flamboyant, extravagantly ornate, showy, florid, brilliant, and rich in color. Yes. And then they had a flair, an aptitude or talent for some, a dashing style. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things. I was thinking about that secret society I was starting that involved some women that had been in parades on various floats and had been queens and princesses that might have had a little leprechaun influence in their lives. Yes. You know, I was watching the television a little earlier today, and it seemed like there's the really bright, almost fluorescent colors in TV. Yes, bright pinks and greens and yellows, and I thought that looks fucking weird. And then almost as if you were kind of you got fished. Yes. Remember those earrings I was telling you about? How a lot of women they really like that whole horse concept. Yes. And I had noticed I was watching this doctor show, and it seemed like the camera was always looking at the earlobes, and I was looking at the earlobes. I was like, those look weird too. And it's it's kind of a sad thing as a man feelings that I don't notice a lot of flamboyant femininity. It's almost like you have to be gay to be flamboyant. You know, I was really evaluating. I was thinking this morning. I was like, you know, it's gonna take some real planning to do everything that I plan to do. Yes, and I was gonna need a few personal assistants that would be somewhat flamboyant. You know, as a man, I've seen women that only wear lingerie and fur coats. Now let's say, okay, the office, it's about 68 to 70 degrees, but what if you had a fur coat that didn't have a lot of inner lining, so you were wearing fur and then quarter bras and three. I I really think that women, the sexuality, femininity has been dulled because of the lack of feeling and emotions. There's some women that I call it a rendezvous. If you could take a woman out and get her to cry, but not an angry cry, but more of a feeling of emotion for whatever the date or the romantic the romantic date that you have. You know, some men, they're not very good at understanding that if you can get a woman to cry because of how happy she is, it's a lot of pent up sexual tension that quite often as a man I don't. I know that there's been a lot of anger. You know, there was this thought that you'd put a lizard in your rectum, you'd get really super angry, and you'd terrorize the population, and that's how you'd move forward in business. Right. Then I found out about the sexual frustration of women that had a lizard in their rectum and how it is that they're venomous when they pull it out. Because don't. Somehow I think the top secret lizard family that is venomous, they got sexual frustration. Would that make a woman upset? Well, just, oh, did you really? Oh, I see. Yeah. You know, let's say you're in the fish family, the top secret, come to find out, and you're involved with a man that that really has very little emotions except for anger. The only thing they have is anger. They kind of laugh about things, ha ha ha. But the truth is, they have no flamboyancy. They're not flagrant. They have no flair, no style. There's nothing exciting. Yeah, I was thinking about that top secret society of women that they've been queens, haven't they? Yes. You know, there's another meaning for the word queens. I had known a guy that worked in a grocery store on Guam, and he was a cross-dressing homosexual. Now, I don't know if he considered himself a woman. I think he actually considered himself a man that liked to wear women's clothing. Yeah. You ever talk to those men that dress like a woman, but they don't really want to be a woman? They want to be a man dressed like a woman. It's kind of funny because some of them they're very flamboyant. I've known a lot of gay and well, is there a difference between gay and homosexual? Okay. Let's say you're a fairy. Okay, what's the difference between a homosexual, a fairy, a transgressor, or transdresser? Okay. Okay, reapproach the question. Okay. Is there a difference? Okay, ask a homosexual. What's the difference between a gay person and a homosexual person? I know. What's the difference between a transgender a man that dresses like a woman that wants to be a woman, and then a cross-dresser? Oh, thank you so much. A man that dresses like a woman because he wants to be a man that dresses like a woman. Right. Now, what? No.